Hi,
Katie?
Hey, how are you?
Hey guys.
Good, how are you?
Hello.
Hi.
See you.
Hey guys. All right. Can everyone hear me okay?
I think, yeah.
We'll wait a few minutes and let everybody get on. Katie and Sarah, thank you so much for joining us from the beach. I know y'all are on vacation, so you're so sweet to get on. Nice to meet you guys. Okay, hey Brennan.
Is there a way to see everybody?
Yeah, so once we start talking, I'll mute everybody, or everyone can just mute themselves, and then we want to unmute, because I definitely want it to be open dialogue. I'd love to hear from everybody and get some ideas. This is really a brainstorming meeting, and I kind of want to hear, because obviously you guys know a lot more about what teenagers are going to be incentivized by, and how we recruit and all that. So we'll I definitely want lots of engagement.
Awesome.
I think Brandon's trying to get on from the next room right now.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, we've got a good little group. A few people are in too that are not going to be able to get on tonight. Yeah. Okay, and if you can, Chris and Emma, if you see the little button to do your camera, that would be awesome, because I would love for you all to get to know each other. And I know some of you are friends already, but oh, awesome. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Hey, Chris. Emma, do you see the camera button? Brennan. And Kelly, I think my friend Carrie White is going to get on too. Her daughter Jules is going to represent Cross Creek, but she is
Awesome.
she's at the beach, but she doesn't have a computer or anything with her, so she wasn't able to get on.
Perfect.
Carrie's going to get on and take.
I could get on my computer. It might actually work better. I didn't think about that.
What's that?
I might use I'm on my phone. I think.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if you're on your computer, it's nice because then you can see everybody. It's like Brady Bunch style. Whereas you are, if you are just on, oh, you know what? Let me go grab my notebook real quick.
Don't mind me. I'm gonna get situated here. Whoops.
All right. Okay, let's dive in, because I know some of you are vacationing and some of you are babysitting, and y'all are so sweet to get on right now. Okay, so we're recording the video so that way people can come back who aren't on. But welcome everybody. I'm so excited. Like, what a great group. I'm very, very, very impressed with all of you that you're willing to give of your time this summer and of your leadership skills. I think that's the part I'm most excited about. I kind of do this professionally in my real life, and I'm so excited to work with you all and see if we can make a really big impact. For those of you who don't know all the details, and I'm sure you got on tonight so you could kind of figure out all the details, a group of moms kind of in Chesterfield neighborhoods all over the city, led by Kelly, who's on here, Kelly Case, who she started this whole thing in Halsley, and very quickly it spread throughout the whole city. Right when COVID started and quarantine started, there was obviously a major need. A lot of kids that you all go to school with all through Chesterfield County really only get to eat when they go to school. So with them being out of school, all spring and now all summer and potentially into the fall, there is a huge, huge need for food for these kids who really were very much dependent on the schools to feed them. And I don't know how much you all have gotten involved in the grassroots over the last couple of months. I know a lot of your moms or neighbors were doing a lot of the raising, getting the canned food drive and all of that. but the lines coming out of the food bank, Chesterfield Food Bank, were like 8 hours long. It was insane. I mean, the need is greater than ever. So that was kind of the first initiative, was like getting food. Brennan was a huge help in Rosemont. So, and Brennan, you kind of inspired the idea, because you dove in right from the beginning, and I was like, we have so many teenagers who could make such a difference and do really so much more than we can. So then we did a Porch for Pantry project where we took pictures of families and we raised a bunch of money that way. And that's when the food bank told us that their real need right now is cash. They really need money. They really need money. They can get so much more food for these families with money rather than just the canned food drive. And so we started brainstorming ways that that we could help get a lot of money into the food bank's pocket. And I don't know about you all, you might be super busy this summer, but Brandon, who's on here, is my oldest. I've got three teenage boys who've had a lot of time on their hands this summer. You know, they couldn't get the traditional jobs that they were going to get. They were going to get, go out and get jobs in the public, and that's not really quite as safe now as it typically would be for you all to get a summer job. So you have time on your hands. A lot of you are rising juniors and seniors who probably have college on the mind right now with college applications. And I will tell you, when we were kind of going through a lot of the essay questions for college, there was so much stuff on leadership. Like, show me an example of when you stepped up to help others. Show me an example of when you made a difference in someone's life. Like, that is going to be a major, major part of your college application. So this, no matter what year you are in high school, is going to be huge, especially this committee. That the fact that you all are the leaders of this thing, like, you all are going to really like take this project, and it could get as big as you want it to be, is going to be amazing for your college applications. But so besides obviously the need for these kids for the food, by the way, all the money goes directly to Chesterfield County Public School kids. They have a separate section at the food bank just for the grassroots group. So that's really nice to know that your impact is going to go directly to the kids that you want to help. The other thing is too, my background is in psychology, and I will tell you, I'm sure you and your parents and really everybody is feeling a lot of like stress and anxiety right now, because just there's so much uncertainty in the world. There's so much happening with quarantine. Many of you are wondering if you're going back to school next year. There's a lot of isolation happening right now, and that can add a lot of stress. And I will tell you, as soon as we started the grassroots in March, I went from feeling like helpless and just very overwhelmed to feeling so, so much better. And so one of the number one ways you can kind of get rid of those feelings of anxiety and stress is to go out and help somebody else. And so yes, y'all are going to get a lot of benefit for college, and you're going to feel like you're making a difference, but what it's going to do for you and how you feel is going to be hopefully something that just really, really helps kind of lift a lot of that stress off. So I'm excited for that as well. So basically the idea is, you all are the leaders for your neighborhood. I want you all to get to know each other. I don't know how you all want to communicate. Obviously, I'm thinking probably Snapchat, but I don't know much about Snapchat. But I want a way for, like, you guys are kind of the executive committee of this whole thing. And we're going to come up with a name. The people on this Zoom are going to get to vote on the name of the group. And you're going to come up with a way that you're going to communicate with each other, because you're going to get ideas from each other. If this is working, this isn't. How are you getting recruits in your neighborhood? How are you doing this? You guys are kind of the masterminds of the whole thing. And then you can form your own little committees within your neighborhood to figure out, like, I know Brandon's brother Brady is going to be in charge of recruiting in Salisbury. So he and his brother Josh are like, they're Brandon's recruiting committee. So you can come up with like little kind of subcommittees within your neighborhood to help you lead that particular area. But you all together are going to really kind of give each other a lot of ideas. And the idea is, we're going to go find people who need chores done. So for example, we went to the beach for a couple of weeks, and I paid my neighbor Harry to come over and water my flowers and get my mail and feed the fish and stuff like that. And I paid him pretty good money, like really good money, that he obviously kept for himself, like all kids do. But we started thinking, like, imagine if you have all this time on your hands, what if we could, those people will still pay what they would normally pay someone to do whatever chore they need, mowing the lawn, that sort of thing. But then the money goes to to grassroots. I mean, it goes to the Chesterfield Food Bank. So that's a way to raise a lot of cash really fast. So that's kind of the general idea behind it. So some of the things, real quick, I want to go around and everyone just kind of say your name, where you go to school, maybe what year you are, and then we can unmute everybody. And I would love to hear ideas for, I'll get my glasses on, I'm so blind. Okay, so we need to pick a name for this, a list of jobs and chores, because obviously beyond the 3 things that I mentioned. Kelly and I were talking, I think it'd be fun to all do a car wash together. Maybe like that's a way for y'all all to get to know each other as the executive committee, like on Midlothian Turnpike, to do like a big car wash, maybe just with the leaders, I think would be fun. How you're gonna communicate, whether it's like through Snapchat, or whatever means that y'all can kind of get organized and communicate not only with each other, but with your neighborhoods respectively. And then how kind of you're going to assign jobs and stuff. So I'm going to stop talking. Everyone go around, tell us who you are, you know, and maybe tell us why you're excited to be part of the group.
I'll start. Okay, I'm Sarah, and then
I'm Katie.
and we're both going to be seniors this year at Midlow High. Yes. One of the main reasons that we started is we started volunteering at the food bank. We've done it a few times, and so it got us really interested in this, and so this just sounded kind of fun. So we're excited.
Oh, awesome. Thank you guys so much. And thank you. Y'all are so sweet. They're at the beach right now on vacation, and they have worked this in. So thank you so much.
All right. I'm Brandon. I'm going to be a senior at Midlow this year, and my mom is the one running this whole thing, so I got nothing better to do right now. So help out.
Let's go next.
I'm Noelle, and I'm gonna be a sophomore at James River, and I'm excited because I was trying to find something to do to like help the community, and I think this was just a good opportunity.
That's awesome. Noelle, did you go to Weaver back in the day? I feel like I recognize.
Yeah, I did.
That's good. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Brennan Lane. I'm a rising sophomore at Midlothian High School, and I'm really excited to be branching out because most of my service is based on water with CBF. So I'm really glad to be doing this.
Oh, awesome. What CBF?
The Chesapeake Bay Foundation.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm going to be going into sophomore year at Midlothian High School, and I'm just excited to, you know, get my mind off of Corona and do fun things for my community.
That's awesome. Thanks, Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I'm a rising junior at Maggie Walker, and I'm just bored, had nothing to do, and this looked fun, so I signed up for this, and hoping this is a nice experience.
Oh, awesome. Nice to meet you, Andrew.
Hi, I'm Ohm. I'm a rising sophomore at Clover Hill High School. I decided to do this because I went volunteering once at the food bank, and I realized there's a big need for food, especially during COVID-19.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy when you go, isn't it? At the first time I went, I could not believe it. I couldn't believe the line. I mean, there was someone who filmed a picture of the line out of going down Route 10. It was insane. I mean, and that was early on, so I can't even imagine how much more the need is now. So great to meet you, Who else do we have left? Emma, can you unmute yourself?
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a rising sophomore at Midlothian High School, and I've actually tried volunteering at the food bank a couple times, but it didn't work out, so I felt like this would be a good opportunity to raise some money. So.
Thanks, Emma. We appreciate it. And then Andrew or Chris, either one of you. Oh, Andrew, you went already. Sorry. Maggie Walker. Yes, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'll be a rising senior at Midlothian High School, and I joined because Emma's mom asked me if I wanted to join. It sounded like a great way to help the community, so I said yes, and I'm excited to help out.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Chris. Okay, good. So y'all can feel free to stay unmuted now. Like, I would love to hear from you. Who wants to? Let's start with the name. Let's knock that out. So we kind of calling it Teens Take on Hunger. What are some other ideas? And then we can take a vote.
So I had another idea, which was chores for change.
Like that. Okay.
That's so good.
Yeah, chores is really good.
Oh wait, this is
Okay, what else? Any other ideas?
I think Katie and I are gonna think on it throughout the entire meeting. So if we come up with something, then we'll say it.
Okay.
I need to think.
That's perfect. I know some people are really good at like the alliteration and coming up with it. Like I'm not creative at all, so that's not my strong suit. All right, so yeah, so why don't we everyone kind of think over the next while we're talking about everything else, and then we'll take a vote because I really want to get it out there to the software. I haven't posted anything in the neighborhood yet, but I want to get the ball rolling because summer's moving very quickly. So we'll finalize it before we get off. Okay, so what are some of the jobs? Let's start throwing out, and I'll take notes. What are some of the different jobs you think we can do? And we have to keep in mind COVID safety. So certain things might be a little tricky in terms of people might not want like you in their home or things like that. Okay, so what do you think?
Lawn mowing.
Yep, that's a good one.
The obvious stuff, mowing lawns, taking care of pets. If it's an older person, they could like drive to get groceries or
That's a really good idea. I was thinking of it, so especially those of you who have your license now, like the Kroger Click It kind of thing. Like it might be a little much to go in to get groceries for them, but if they order and pay for Kroger Click It, yeah, you could. That's a really good idea, Brandon. So drive and pick up groceries. Yeah, that's a big need right now for people who don't want to be exposed by going to the grocery store. Love that. What else can you think
So
of?
I'm a big lacrosse player. So I was thinking about maybe having like 30-minute drill sessions with lacrosse players who need it. And I could cross advertise both at my neighborhood and on CYL Hammers. So I feel like that'd be a pretty good opportunity.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, you just made me think of, do you think that Sean Abel or like some of the other principals would send a blast out to really kind of see how we can spread it through the other neighborhoods? Because so much of it we've been dependent on just friends of friends. And you guys probably have a lot of friends in other neighborhoods, but I feel like we could get a lot of, not necessarily even more leaders, but a lot of kind of workers by blasting it out that way.
Of course, I think Dr. will be all over that. If you'd like me to message him, I can do that.
Yeah, that sounds
Oh,
good.
perfect. Reagan is too.
Yep.
I can do it. That I talked to him.
Y'all all have a lot of good, yeah. So, and then for your other schools too, Maggie Walker might be a little different because this is for Chesterfield County Public Schools, but you never know. I mean, there might be other Maggie Walker kids out here too that might want to help. But all the other schools you all said are all Chesterfield County, so that I think that could be a way to really. And the other thing too, Caitlin, one of the main reasons I thought of you for this is because you're so big into social media. For those of you, and my other sons are very into social media as well too. I was thinking it'd be fun to come up with some cool hashtags that you all put, like if y'all are taking pictures of what you're doing while you're doing it, and that obviously going viral in that way, like the hashtag for whatever name we come up with, hashtag for, different things we can do to really kind of get word out that way too. Because if they see you all doing it, it's going to feel like they're going to want to be a part of it. So we almost want this to feel like a club, a group, like that you all are having a ton of fun and also making a big impact in the world. So, yeah, I think the more that we can kind of get exposure that way, that would be okay. What else can you think
of? I know during the school year, I tutor kids after school. So I don't know if we could do that with COVID, but I mean, during the school year, once COVID calms down, at least.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I think it really will just depend on if the person who needs help with the tutoring feels comfortable with it and your parents and you feel comfortable with it, then we can always do it. Like some people, I know a ton of kids babysitting right now, but then one of the moms that's on the committee was like, oh, we shouldn't throw out babysitting as an option but if you're already babysitting the kids anyway, I mean, it could be a good way to. Okay, so tutoring, I love that. What else? Watering plants. Anything else?
We thought of something too earlier, and I don't know how well this would work because of COVID, but like even just like a bake sale at like a clubhouse and just like you can put it like in a common center for like swim team kids or like lemonade even.
Oh,
it's kind of like busy, I feel like.
Yeah, that's a great idea. What do you guys think of doing the car wash idea too?
I
think that's
love
great.
it.
I like that idea.
When are you two back from the beach?
We're heading home on the 12th, and then I think on the 13th there's actual food bank stuff too.
Yeah, I think we're
We're
volunteering on
at the food bank on the 13th.
yeah.
So
But then
other
I
than
mean,
that,
I don't. What time is that?
I think it's like 3 to 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
We'll
thinking
figure
maybe
it out.
early next week we could do like a kind of a kickoff with the car wash, and like you all can come and maybe bring like a few friends each. I don't know where. I was passing by Midlothian High School. I think it's a little too tucked in. Like I think we want to be on the main road. I wonder if Midlo Middle would let us use their parking lot.
I was gonna say Winfrey Church. I don't know who just said that, but I was just about to say that.
Oh, that's a good idea. Winfrey Church. Is anyone members there? Oh, Emma, you are? Okay. Emma, would you mind checking with them?
Yeah, I can ask my youth pastor. Me and Chris both go there. So we can ask our youth pastor or Dr. B, who's also the cross-country coach, I think, for Midlo, for the girls.
Yeah.
Is Winfrey like visible? I'm trying to picture the parking lot. Is it visible to the main road? So we'll get.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's for us on like it's on a corner too.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that would be great. What day? We'll work it around you guys since you're all the ones on the call. What day? I mean, I obviously don't need to be there, so I leave for Charleston on Wednesday, but Brandon's not going. So, what day next week are y'all thinking?
I mean, we could try and do Tuesday if you leave Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would love to be there if we could, like, just to help if possible. Okay, so I want to do Tuesday. Does that work for most people on the call? Anyone? Okay. And I totally get it if you can't make it, but I think it would be a fun way for y'all to kind of kick this off. Perfect. Okay, so Tuesday we'll do a car wash. And so Brandon threw out, and I would love to get your feedback on this. And it's funny because at first Brandon just said it, and then my sister said it, and then one of the other moms had their teenager say it. Do you think it's going to be really, really hard to get kids to go all in for 100% donation? Or Brandon's like, what if we did like 20%, 80%? So like 80% goes to the food bank, but do you think it would incent more kids to participate if they got a little bit of money for their time?
Yeah. I was thinking about that, and I think it's also like you could say like you could do the 80-20, but then you could also like that's not stopping anyone. Like you don't have to do 80, you can just put it all towards. So I think it can just like be decided by the actual person doing.
Okay, that's a great idea. So what are we gonna what number should we come up with to like say no more than, you can't keep any more than this though? Do you think 80-20 is fair?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, because if you make like $100, I mean, that's still $20 in your pocket for, you know. And I'm thinking also this could be future employment for you all when you make new connections in the neighborhood. Like this could actually turn into a real job.
Yeah. I also think it kind of depends on like what the thing is that you're doing, because like obviously like if we did do the bake sale, then that would probably be just all.
That's what I'm thinking. Like car wash bake sale goes 100%.
Yeah.
Donation, obviously, but the actual like doing the chores, yeah. That's what Brandon's point was. He's like, we could get a handful of kids to do it once or twice, but if you really want people doing this all summer long and really making a lot of money for the food bank, if they have a small incentive, it's probably gonna help.
Yeah, we could do anything that's a group activity. It'll be 100%. But if you have an individual activity or chore that you're doing, then make the percentage.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. All right, let me see what else do we have on the list. Okay. Oh, what about communication? What's the easiest way for you all? So you want to be able to have a system, and I don't know, you guys can throw out ideas for, I was picturing, depending on how independent you guys are, we'll get most of our requests for services probably through the Salisbury neighbor page on Facebook. So do you all want your parent person to be like the connector with you on that to figure out, because I kind of been picturing you all being in charge of getting all the kids lined up for the jobs, but if you feel comfortable too helping to recruit the actual people for the jobs, like the people who are going to pay, what do you all think about that?
Well, For my neighborhood, at least, the Facebook page is like very, very, very tight knit, and so it's specifically for homeowners only. So I'm not on the Facebook page, and so you're gonna, at least for my neighborhood, I have to have a connect to that.
Okay, so you'd have to have like your mom or someone like that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and we're gonna put together like an easily pastable thing that all the parents or you all can add to the page in search of like people who are looking for jobs to get filled. And we can get creative too. Like we can do flyers and drop them off in people's mailboxes, that sort of thing. But I mean, I do think the Facebook will probably be the fastest way. Like when we did the Porch for Pantry pictures, people, like 1,000 people signed up almost right away as soon as we posted it. What about for you all to communicate with each other and to go out or to be able to like talk to and get jobs filled and stuff like that? What do you think is the best way to do it?
Are you talking about like for this, like the leaders group, or are we talking about like our specific neighbors group?
Kind of both. So, so I want you all to really work like an executive committee together, because when you're like at the top and you have to come up with everything by yourself, it's really hard. Whereas if you all can share ideas and share what you're doing, share what's working. So I was picturing one group with that, and then another group with like you in your neighborhood for all your volunteers.
Okay, that works. I mean, I feel like Snapchat would work. Does anybody prefer text? And then I guess we could all just like text either on here or on the group chat, since everybody's on the group chat, and if we all just want to text handles, I'll put the group chat together. Awesome. Katie and I can do that.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. And I'm gonna keep, just so you know, like here's how people were messaging earlier, and Brandon's like, how do you know who everybody is? I've been putting you all in my contacts. This is just kind of like a work hack that, because this is part of grassroots, I put a GR and then your name for your first name, or under first name, and then I put your neighborhood under the last name, so I can very quickly figure out who's talking to me from where. So if you do put people in your contacts, like that's a good little way to, like, if I pull up GR on my phone, all of you just pop right up. So just a little hack, tech hack. But thank you, Sarah, for offering to put together the group.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you all can do the same thing once you get all of your volunteers.
Yeah, and I had a quick question. Do we have anyone for the Grove yet?
No, actually, the Grove is, yes, we really, really need people for the Grove.
We have a lot of people in the Grove.
Oh, okay, great. Do you have someone for the leader piece of that?
Yeah,
there's a few people. We can talk to them and see who's interested.
I could text them literally right now if you wanted to.
That would be awesome. What other, actually, that's a great segue. Like, what other neighborhoods do you all know of that need to get filled?
What, Watermill?
We don't have anyone in Watermill yet.
I think I know someone who lives in there, and I can reach out to her.
Okay. Yep, love that. So Watermill's great.
We have round trip.
Our little corridor is pretty well covered. We have Rosemont, Cross Creek, Tarrington. We have River Downs.
Do we have a Founders Bridge?
Not yet. And I reached out to Alicia Watkins, was the one who was the mom in charge of that neighborhood. And so I reached out about Caitlin Watkins, but I haven't heard back yet. So if y'all got, and she's a rising freshman. I do think if we could get some drivers in different neighborhoods, that would help. So yeah, if you've got someone, if you need someone in Founders Bridge, that would be great.
What about Charter Colony? Do we have anyone for Charter Colony?
3 for Charter Colony. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Charter Colony people, raise your hands. Yeah, we have a potential like 4th who wanted to help too, but I just sent the name to the 3 of them and let them handle it. So basically from this point on, like, oh, and what about, so do you think you guys can do everything you need to do with Snapchat? Do y'all want to do like a couple of Zooms every now and again? Like, what do you think is helpful?
I think keeping in touch is always a good thing.
And I'm willing to get on here and work with you guys as much as you need me. So if we wanted to do, we could do a weekly Zoom, we could do every other week, we could do, I think it is kind of fun to see the faces versus just doing everything through Snapchat too.
Yeah, I think we could do one as needed, and then try and do one at least every other week, if not every week.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my tendency to think too. Okay, yeah, so as you guys, seriously, as you think of people, and if you talk to a friend in a neighborhood that you know is not covered, we would love it. Like, we would love to see this go all the way across Chesterfield County. We've got about 6-7 weeks before we go back to school. And I know y'all are going to be busy when you get back to school with, college applications and trying to figure out how to, whatever system they come up with for learning. So I think if we go kind of all in this summer, I think we could have a big impact. And I'm so impressed with all of you. Y'all are awesome.
I have a question when you have a minute.
Go for it.
You can answer Sarah's first.
Okay. I don't think it'll take that long, but how are we just donating the money when we get them from our account, or should I give it to Miss Kelly since she's in my neighborhood?
Kelly, what do you think? What do you think the best way? What did Kimberly say she would like us to do?
I think, can you guys hear me? Just mute.
You're good.
Okay. It might be best to have a single person that people are dropping checks or cash off to. That way we're writing one big check to Chesterfield Food Bank, or delivering checks. If you do a job for somebody and they want to write it directly to Chesterfield Food Bank, that's totally fine. And we'll just be the deliverer. We'll deliver the check. But I do think having one student or an adult collecting all of that might be helpful. Just so there's kind of a, every Friday, everybody drops it off at that person's house, or.
Yeah, and I'm fine being that person. Everyone can just drop it off here. And yeah, I would just have them make out the check to Chesterfield Food Bank. If people want to PayPal, if that's easier for them, does that get confusing though, tax-wise? I mean, obviously they can't write it off. They can't write it off if they do it to me.
Yeah, I think I think it'll get confusing if we do a PayPal account like we did with the Porch to Pantry. It might be best if people pay the kids individually, and then that money is collected by either the student leaders or by the adult in the neighborhood, and then we can get all of that to you. Would that be?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yep, and Brandon can always drive around too. If we don't have a neighborhood that doesn't have a driver, he can drive around to the neighborhoods and pick it up too.
Yeah. And that way, if they Venmo a student, let's say they Venmo Sarah Nugent, she gets 10 jobs and she has them all in her Venmo account, then she can write a check or Venmo me as the lead person, and then that can all be cashed out and written in a check to you.
Yeah.
Or Chesterfield Food Bank from Halsley, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and then another part of that is they write it directly to Chesterfield Food Bank, and the person chooses to keep the 20%. That's not going to work. So people are going to really have to think about what they want to do with that.
Yes,
that's a good point.
Yeah, that is going to be tricky. I think people are going to have to pay the students directly, and then it'll be a trust thing with the students who are doing it, and they will have to send the 80% or whatever, or 100% on to the student leader or adult in the neighborhood.
So in that case, it would have to be cash or Venmo, right?
It could be a check, but it would need to be written to them.
Okay.
And then the donation to the food bank would actually be, we would probably just, unless somebody wanted to write something off, then that would get a little bit tricky. But if people aren't, and it's mostly small amounts and people aren't asking for receipts, then we don't have to worry about it. If somebody asks for a receipt, then we'll have to write them one. So, and I have I'll have to get you some of those. I do have some carbon copy receipts I can get you.
Okay. What else can we think of?
I had another idea for you to write down as how people can get money. This is another one for the drivers, but I know a lot of kids are starting sports, training for a club or something, and I have in the past just driven them to practice and then driven them home.
Oh my gosh, driving I think would be huge. Yeah. I think right now, especially with people trying to work from home and figure out childcare, I actually think a lot of people are going to want babysitters. So I mean, I don't know if it feels that way, but I think driving, babysitters, all that is a huge need.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you too, as you're thinking about who you're going to recruit, I mean, obviously you don't have to be a driver. Half of y'all are not going to be, but for those of you who are, that's kind of an added bonus. especially those of you who've been driving for over a year. I don't know how many new drivers need to be driving around a bunch of kids. I love that. That's a great idea.
Kelly, we had talked about that some of the middle school kids might be interested in doing some of this work as well.
Yeah.
Assuming that most of them probably have Snapchat, but then, you know, having parent involvement with them showing up to jobs and whatnot might not be a bad idea. Communication within the neighborhoods, I'm curious how the student leaders want to do that, like when they're booking a job, or how are we going to go about booking jobs?
So y'all were thinking kind of like through Snapchat, right? This is the part where actually is going to be probably the biggest part of your job, is the connecting the two. So like, here's what the job is, here's the volunteers, who's going to fill that job. So do you all feel like that would be easy to do through Snapchat? If you have your own Snapchat group for your neighborhood, are you just going to throw it out there, be like, hey guys, we need someone who wants to water flowers all week on this address, who wants the job, and people can grab it, or people can divide it up?
Yeah. I think that just within the neighborhood, whatever, because even if all of the leaders are in a Snapchat group chat within your neighborhoods, the group of volunteers will be in whatever, just Snapchat or iMessage or whatever. And I think that they could just do that, just text people and see who wants it.
Yeah, if we have people who are like a middle schooler who wasn't on Snapchat, anyone who reaches out to me, I'm going to connect them to, like, for example, a mom just reached out to me with, and she said her son in Charter Colony wanted to be a part of it too. So instead of me adding a fourth person into this group, I messaged the 3 Charter Colony leaders and I said, here, this is your first contact. This person wants to get involved. So I think we can always just feed them directly to you too, and you can work them in however.
Yeah, I think for Halsley, for instance, you know, I can make the post, Sarah. We can do it in tandem together, maybe tag me on it. Or I can post it and tag you. We'll do it whichever way works the best. And then we'll have maybe keep a list of students who are interested in doing this. And we need to pick an age that we think they need to be. And then, you know, you guys can fill the jobs. Once a job gets posted, then one of you will need, or your committee, it doesn't have to be just the 2 of you. You have a committee who is going to say, okay, these are the jobs we have posted this week. Who's going to do them? And then someone needs to assign the job. Someone needs to let that person know who's going to be showing up at their house, and give them their contact information, so they can be in contact with the job person. So there's a little bit of logistics stuff that I think our team leaders might need to do, or at least have a committee that's going to help them do it.
Yeah, that's what I think, figure out who your kind of biggest go-getters are in your area and who are going to be the most helpful, and almost form like a little leadership team within your neighborhood of people's of accountability, really, so that it doesn't all fall on your shoulders, and so that you know, everyone kind of has a little bit of ownership in it. Because yeah, what we don't want to happen is someone say they take a job and then not show up, you know, and then it kind of the system fall apart.
Well, and we maybe need to find a way to let the homeowners know, like who's going to, like, do we want to do a separate Facebook group? I'm not really sure how we want to do that, or if everyone's just contacted through texting might be the best way, because homeowners aren't on Snapchat, so they're going to need to be contacted probably just via text, I would assume would be the best way to do that. So in the post, we'll need to have information saying, you know, we need to know what job you'd like. We need a way to reach you. Maybe it's PMing through Facebook. That's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking I'm going to include Brandon and Margaret. So they're the 2 Salisbury people. I'm going to include their cell phones in the post and be like, contact these 2 for, you know, for the job that you need covered.
Okay.
Okay, love it. All right, anyone come up with any more names?
Oh, I didn't come up with a name. I have a question. So, like, what if you get a job, but it's not through the actual, like, system of grassroots, and, like, it's not on a schedule? Can you just, like, would you still just be like, this is what I'm doing, like, with the money, are you okay with this? Or, like, would I still, like, do that?
Oh, 100%. Yes. However we get the jobs, however we can raise money, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about like the logistics of the system. We're just trying to come up with ways to raise money. So, and you guys are probably so much more creative than we are. So anything and everything you think of, and this is like, y'all, as you start to think about this and as you start to do it, you're going to come up with some really great ideas. So don't hesitate to throw it out to the group and be like, hey, I just tried this and it worked really well. Because someone else might be like, oh, that's perfect. I was kind of, struggling for a way to keep it going. I love that. Perfect. Okay. So so what do we think?
I really liked the what was it? Chores for Change. That was awesome. And that could be like the name of it, but then we can use like hashtags like the Teens Take on Hunger could be our hashtag.
Okay.
Since it's longer.
Chores for Change. Okay, I love that. And that can be a hashtag too. So that's the name. Does everyone agree with that? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Okay, perfect. And then we, like you said, yeah, Teens Take on Hunger. What are some other fun hashtags? Like I think if you guys, the more you can, I know it's not always something you want to, y'all are teenagers, y'all probably want to take pictures all the time, but the more you take pictures of yourself doing the different things, the more we can get it to like spread virally. Like kids will be like, what is that? What are they doing? And trust me, when they see others doing it, they're going to be so much more likely to want to get involved themselves.
I'm just throwing some out. Dollars for dog walking, cash for car wash. I mean, these are like more.
Yeah, I feel like we could create one for every like thing that we have. Like we can have a big umbrella one, but then we can have like other ones coming up.
Right. And like do the umbrella one every time, and then you can add in all the other fun ones, and you can message it out to the group, be like, hey guys, do this hashtag kind of thing.
Yeah.
Love it. Y'all.
This would be like a neighborhood idea, but I just thought of it. We could almost like create like an Instagram for the entire neighborhood, and then like as these different people are like doing their jobs, they can just take pictures, and then we can post like every person on the neighborhood doing it, and then that way teens will see it too. That might be more.
Oh, I love that. So like create a new Instagram account for that particular neighborhood.
Yeah. Like
one for the whole system or neighborhood by neighborhood?
I think maybe both because
honestly.
there's some things like the big car wash that we were having that would be like a whole thing, then other things are more neighborhood specific.
Okay, cool. Does anyone want to, well, I guess each teen leader will create one person per group. Y'all can decide amongst yourselves who's going to create the account for your neighborhood. And then
create the big one.
Okay, thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. So I love it. Yay. Okay, does everyone know how to do that? Create an Instagram account. Don't hesitate to ask us if not. Okay, perfect. So any like cute names you can think of for the Instagrams, or what are y'all going to call it?
Probably just Chores
for Change would honestly
be Salisbury, Chores for Change, Halsley, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Or the big one could be Chores for Change RVA.
Oh yeah, Chores for Change RVA
for the big one, and
then
the
cute. Or should we do Chesterfield County since we're doing it for Chesterfield County? Does RVA sound? I know RVA is kind of cool.
The only thing is we just don't want it to be too long.
Yeah, that's
like even if we did like Chores for Change Halsley, that would honestly be long. So we could like abbreviate it or something. I don't know.
I think Chores for Change RVA. I think that's cute.
Okay. Or if we did like, do we want to do FOR or like the actual letter 4
number?
Well, I mean, like if it's an Instagram handle, you can just do like CFC Rosemont, for example, and then you could have in the bio the actual like name being Chores for Change Rosemont.
Yeah.
There's no limit on how long your name is, but there is a limit on how long the handle is.
Yes. I think we're talking about the handle right now, but I like the CFC.
I just worry if people aren't going to know what that is yet.
Yeah, I was thinking, well, yeah. But is it too long to do Chores for Change Salisbury? Is that too long of a handle?
I'm not sure, but I know that when you click on an Instagram website, you can have a bolded name, especially if it's a business or if you register it as an organization. You can have a bolded name at the top, so whenever they click on a profile, it immediately pops up with Chores for Change all across the top. So that could be useful.
Okay. All right, well, as y'all are creating them, if anyone has any problems, just message out to your group and someone can walk them through it, whoever's going to create it. So why don't we, okay, so we have the first thing we're kicking off on Tuesday. Do you want to say in the meantime, it's all about recruiting over the next, the moms will go ahead and get that first message out on each of the neighborhood pages, or you can if you want to, if you're part of the page. I know Brennan said you can't get on Rosemont. I'll probably make Brandon get a Facebook account and go on there with me and so we're both kind of doing the post. But yeah, in the meantime, we'll start getting jobs lined up. You guys start getting recruits, and if you need ideas for how to do that, let us know. But I think get your little subcommittee first, and then hopefully it'll just grow and grow from there. And I know a lot of, like, I'm planning on reaching out to all my friends and saying, your kid's friends with us. Brady had some friends every day, and I was like, y'all are all signing up, and they're like, okay. So people will come if you just get them excited about it.
I think it'll be helpful for everybody to really reach out to some of the go-getter adults in their community.
Yeah.
If you have a social planner in your community, if you have, maybe it's your HOA, or maybe it's people who kind of organize or run the pool in your community. If you reach out to some of them to say, hey, can you help me post this to just try to get more jobs listed, that would be great.
Yeah, I was talking to my hairstylist today. She's in Hampton Park, and she was like, oh, you need to contact so-and-so. She's like, she runs everything in the neighborhood. So like that kind of person will help connect you to a lot of kids too.
Perfect.
If we're doing a car wash next week, we also need to get word out there that we're doing that, I think. Whether that's through the Instagram or Facebook or however we do that.
Okay, so any good ideas for, like, I don't know, cool names for that or ways to get people there? We don't want it to be too, I mean, I'm thinking COVID wise, if people drive by and see 100 teenagers in a parking lot, they're going to be like, oh my God, that's a COVID disaster. So should we keep it like maybe each one of you bring 1 or 2 people for this first thing? Or what do you think?
Yeah, that's fine. That works.
Yeah, because if we get, we don't want people.
Yeah, not just for recruitment for that, but also just for like the people who would get their cars washed so that they know what's going on.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Yes. And
yeah,
that's going to be through social media or what? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Facebook for that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We probably need a sign committee too to make some posters.
Oh yeah, is anyone artistic or can make good posters?
We can try.
I can try.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of artists in our family, so I'm not sure how good ours would turn out. Okay, good. Yeah, so if anyone wants to make some cute posters, but we can kind of strategize in the meantime too. All right, yay. Anything else you all can think of? I know y'all have given us so much time already. I want y'all to be able to get back to your night.
I would definitely say, like, if you're in a neighborhood that has like a clubhouse or like a community center, like definitely go there and like post something. And even
like a Facebook page too. Like I know the adults, at least in Halsley, have a Facebook page. That could help get the word out. Just like if somehow we got it out to each of the neighborhoods that we were doing it so that people knew.
Yeah, definitely do it in your neighborhood Facebook page. That's huge. But I like the idea too of doing a flyer, like we could do it up at the club or do some advertising that way too. And any kind of like mothers clubs you have in your group. Yeah, I think we're gonna get actually a ton of people who want babysitters. Okay, good. Anything else? Any last minute thoughts? Anything we've left out, forgot about? Okay. All right, guys, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm gonna save this recording and pass it on to the people who couldn't make it. But anyone you think of that you want to add with different neighborhoods to kind of spread the word for the leadership part, let me know. Just message me and I will add them to the group thread. And yeah, in the meantime, Sarah, let us know what we can do to help you with the big Instagram account and also the Snapchat groups.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. And if you have any problems, guys, doing your Instagram handle or whatever, just message the group and they can walk you through it. I'm sure y'all probably all know how to do that. All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.